All right, welcome in for the weekly mixing live stream. We are back mixing a song called You Warned Me, and if you want to mix along with the stream here, or you just want some free multi-tracks for some practice, make sure you click the link at the top of the chat or at the top of the description. You can download the multi-tracks for this song completely for free. There's a ton of other multi-tracks on that page. Again, this one's called You Warned Me. You can download the multi-tracks. You can link back to the live stream so you can follow along as you mix the song, or you can just use any of those multi-tracks for your own free mixing practice. What we've got going on with this song is it's built off of an acoustic guitar loop here. So it's a stereo loop we created, a doubled loop per se. We've got full drum kit going, bass guitar, a couple electrics, a lead, piano. We've got this pad going on that I'll actually play for you. It's something I just throw in a lot of songs if they're simple enough chord-wise. It's just something to glue things together. Lead vocal and then a stack of background vocals as well. I do have the mix bus processing up and ready to go. So the console shaper is in here, just running the drive, but running it all the way at 0. No noise or crosstalk or anything like that. Have the fat channel going with the Brit comp for my mix bus compressor. The threshold is at -1.6. That's something I never touch, so I just pull this up, set it there, and I mix into it. 30 millisecond attack, 100 millisecond release, 2-to-1 ratio, so keeping it gentle, bearing in mind we're affecting the entire mix, and then a dB of makeup gain on the end there. End of the mix bus chain, or the mix A chain, is the soft tube tape machine. I run it pretty close to the default settings here, so running it at 5.1 here, running it on the B type. So the B type just gives me a little bit more bottom end warmth. You can mess with the types to get different kind of feels and vibes on your track. And then 30 inches per second, all the way at the end of the chain here. So on the mix bus is a limiter, just bumping everything up by 6 dB into a -1 ceiling, and you can see I pull my main down 6 dB. So I get that little bit of mastering, limiting feel, but I'm not blowing my ears out by listening to it that loud all the time. There's a little bit of processing going on some of this stuff here, like the acoustics and the piano, because that's what the song was built around. They're going into this giant hall verb, so we'll mess with that as we get going here. Let's jump over to the drums, and let's get started. So let's find a section here that we can loop and mix through. Maybe this verse section here, this verse into this pre-chorus section. Let's see how we're looking there. Oh, I do have to edit out the toms too. It looks like there's still bleed there. Yeah, I don't mind that to start. So let's look here on our kick drum. Looks like we've got already got our limiter set. .370 is a little high for my tastes. If that's the extent of it, I'm okay with it. Was that this guy here? That's way above. It is. Oof. So we might just go a little bit, because we have that one hit that's way above everything else. Are we sitting there at the beginning too? Because we've got a bigger hit here as well. Yeah, so we're a little heavy-handed there with the limiting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this back to -11. Where was that big hit? In the bridge here? Yeah, it might even go back to -10. And then double up on the limiting. I like having the limiting at the beginning of the chain. It's just something. Oh, 1 second. Let me close that vent there. All right, so just an extra touch of limiting there on the kick drum. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the mixing streams, Michael. To me, when I started these up, it was just kind of like when I was starting mixing, what did I want to see? And I wanted to see people mixing full songs. So that's where we're going to start there with the limiting. EQ next. Trying to focus it more on this 80 hertz area. I want to leave some of the sub because it is a slower song you can hear. Our normal snare ringing there. I don't mind just pulling that all the way out. Feeling adventurous there today. You can see I can be really heavy-handed with the compression on kick drum. For me, it's not always about volume shaping with the compressor. I love the tone shaping I get with it. So the way it's tightening up the kick drum. So because we have that compressor in place that's clamping down on everything, when we boost this top end into it, it's really, really tight. Cool, and then we can boost our bottom end up after the fact here. I'm digging that right there. Maybe a little more top. I really like that. I can dig that. So you'll get glimpses of the full track here as we unsolo.
If we can make this more than me, I wanna know there's best some way. I need to know it's not.
Here's our snare. Our limiter seems okay here. Yeah. Gonna roll off a little bottom there. The little bit of ringing isn't bothering me. We'll have to see if it does inside the track. About 6 dB reduction there. If you want it tighter on the snare drum, you can always lengthen your release and it'll hold on a little bit longer to tighten the sound. I'm okay with where it's sitting. Like I said, it being a slower song. Leaving some length on the snare drum can be nice. Some top here. Bringing out the ghosts on the snare drum. And then I want to bring up some mids here. You can see there's a dip here. Nice. And then some bottom here. Right there. That feels great.
More than me, I wanna know there's better way. I need to know it's not too late, 'cause let's do.
All right, now the toms have to be edited down. So I usually do this pre-live stream. It seems I forgot this time. That's okay. So all we're going to do is I'm going to go through on the toms here, and I'm going to get rid of the bleed. So we're only going to open up on our tom fills here. So we're going to go right up to our first one here. Everything beforehand gets cut off. We fade into our tom. And then we fade out afterwards. So that's all I'm going to go through and do here on the toms, just really quickly. Anything that looks like it could be a tom hit, you want to check just to make sure. We're going to save a layer afterwards in case there are any mistakes. You always want to leave a little leeway afterwards. That way it fades naturally into the overheads. And if you don't bring your overheads up very far in the mix, it is very, very difficult to do something like this on the toms because you will hear that back end fade and you will hear it cut in and cut out. This really only works if you are embracing the live sound of your kit and using the overheads. Otherwise, that kind of stuff there, snare hits and stuff after the fact, sound a lot more prominent on the sides in the overheads. Reintro section, which is technically our first guitar solo. Just a little bit of gap on the end there is all. Fade in, fade out, and move on. This is the most basic way to do this, and you'll see afterwards I do like to add a little bit of extra control after the fact. Just using limiters and doing extra tricks. It really seems like I have a control issue here, doesn't it? So fade in. And if that snare hit's really big, you can fade there. Sometimes I leave some of that in on the fade so it stays more natural sounding. So that kind of stuff there where it's pretty chill afterwards, I'll leave a longer fade. All right, we're into our second chorus there. That outro actually looks pretty busy tom-wise. So just cutting and fading little by little here. It cleans up our toms, and it's going to clean up our drum mix overall. It kind of goes hand in hand here. If you clean up your toms like this, and you don't have all the cymbal bleed, and really the kick and snare bleed as well, coming through on your toms, it lets you push your kick and snare more. You get more focus there, and it lets you push your overheads more, which, like I said, I like using the overheads as a nice kit picture. really big ride. So that kind of stuff cuts through, especially if the mic on the tom is really close to a cymbal. Anytime you get a bigger hit on it. All right, we're heading into our outro here, which looked really busy tom-wise. It does. What we might do is just open up that one rack tom, depending on how loud it is. Because again, the goal is to keep it natural sounding. So we don't want a bunch of fade ins and fade outs on our toms, unless there's enough gap in between. So there, that's plenty of gap. So fade in. Same thing there. Fade in, fade out. That little roll there, we can pull this in. Because we're going to bring that up in volume probably. That's the next thing I usually do on my toms. Like I said, this is something I usually do beforehand because to me it feels boring to watch, but it is a useful trick. That's technically the end of the song here, or technically the start of our fade out. We're going to go all the way. Also, I like to do this beforehand, so if you download the multi-tracks, you don't have to do this, but I guess if you download the multi-tracks for this one, you will have to implement some kind of trick on the toms. Right there. And that one we'll just cut. Actually, we could pull that in a little bit. Fade out. Almost done here, almost done. Lots of second rack tom action here at the end, which is cool. Oh, just the time, tedious sacrifices you gotta make if you want that little bit of extra freedom while you're mixing. And if you have a deep hatred for gates like I do. All right, so that's the first piece of the puzzle. Now, what I used to do is just bounce these down and move on my merry way that way. But what I've been doing lately is leveling the toms before they hit the fader. So I can mix the toms as a group instead of having to go in and mix each individual tom and then level balance them or compress them or limit them to kind of sit together as a package. What I've been doing is leveling them inside the mix. And even further now, what I do is I actually go through and wherever there's not a tom, hit, I actually gain down the other toms. I started doing this after, if you notice as we go through, that first tom picks up more than the other toms. It looks like a duplicate tom hit sometimes. So I started going through and just gaining down anywhere there's not a tom hit. We'll leave that for the moment and investigate if that's a hit as we come through. Oh, I just undid all my work there. So sad. All right, so some of those aren't hits there. All this does is get rid of any extra bleed. Because if we listen, right, it just looks like an extra tom hit. That's actually that new Sennheiser mic. Their, what is it called? The smaller MD21. It's nice because for smaller toms it doesn't get in the way. But to me, it's catching a lot of extra bleed, which isn't ideal. But it gets you that 421 sound. So if I ever do find anything better for the small toms, I'll probably switch that out. But right now, it's what I'm rocking with. Nothing there, nothing there. Same thing here. So that whole outro section, we're pretty much just riding that second tom. Same thing at the end. All right, and then all I'm going to do is just gain these down just a little bit, not all the way, so it still feels like everything opens up when our tom hits come in, but just enough. And then even further, what I'm going to go through and do is make sure every tom hit is hitting around the same level. I like them hitting around the -12 there. So we just quickly go through here. Just like that, and just gain. Like I said, this lets me mix the toms as a group rather than individually. And no one tom is going to stick out. They'll all hit the same level. This last guy could come up just a click. Cool. So things like that, that little fill there that's a little softer. That guy on the end. A little more. Cool. I had a visitor grabbing a guitar there. Second tom there. Come down just a click. Almost done with the tedious work here. Floor tom looked good there. So see, that one's really high energy. Just a big attack. This step is not necessary if you want to do, if you're okay mixing the toms individually in the mix. But if you want to be able to group them together, one EQ and just do away with it, This is the way to do it then. That one's fine. This one could come up. This one should be fine. Can come up one click. Same thing here probably. Nice. A little bit there as well. Those are fine. The last couple here, so that one can... Good. We'll give that one just a bump. And that can come down a little bit. Cool. Last little fill here. That's fine. All right. So now that we have all that done, like I said, I'm going to create a layer in case we get to mixing and there's anything that we miss there. There's a tom fill missing, out of place, anything like that. We have a layer we can go back to. And then we will bounce them out. All right. After all of that tedious work now, we can mix the toms as a group. That's all that's for. We'll look at this fill here in the bridge. Cool. High pass first. And then all of this low mid-range energy. A little bit of stick attack. Nice. Let's check out our overheads. Where are we sitting in the second verse here? So just pull out all of this. Nice. Michael from Germany, always good to see you in the chat. You've been here like the past couple weeks now. I like it. Cool, let's get our mono room in here. This is honestly one of my favorite mics on the kit. It's just the vocal mic that's up in the booth. I roll off all the cymbal noise and then pull out all this low mid energy. It adds a nice little point to the kick drum and just a touch of this like 1K energy. liking that.
Let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know there's better way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spent so much time breathing.
Cool. Here's our bass. A little bit at 200 area out. I'm pushing the bass a little bit hard. It's adding some distortion to it. To me, the distortion helps you hear it inside the mix. And if you push it harder like that, especially with an 1176, you get this nice little bite there. To me, I'd rather push harder into a compressor to get distortion than to add like the parallel distortion where you like duplicate the amp track or something like that. I used to do that, but I ended up just pushing harder into the 1176 to get that breakup, get that distortion, and then boosting top end into that to bring that out and emphasize it. To me, this feels more natural. Where our bottom end is sitting. I actually like that. That's pretty good. All right, our acoustic is the most important thing here. A little bit of multi-bend to control that top end. That kind of stuff there. That lets us boost it. Nothing going on there. that. Our piano. Fine, just about 3 dB reduction there. Just a touch more brightness. So there's this mix tool on the end because this solo section, it's like a little piano solo type thing, just a melodic type feel. It's nothing too crazy, but I want to bump the piano up there. I'm not a fan of automating the fader sometimes because I like to be able to just reach for that and tweak that. Just throwing the mix tool on there, so when we get there, turns on, throws our piano up. So they're slightly different, but I might just throw them onto a bus and just mix them together. So we got a rhythm. Oh my God, can I spell? Rhythm guitar level. And even if I don't mix them together, even if it's just to level them, it feels a little harsh. I might leave it darker like that. That's where they're sitting right now. They're like ear candy on the outside. Let's see what this lead sounded like. Just a little bit of this area. I was going to throw another hall verb on it, but let's see if I just send it to the same one as... Feels a little heavy here. Just some giant massive solo at the end of the song. Let's get this pad in here. So I was just adjusting that there. There's a little fade point to duplicate it so it goes out the whole song. This is something I throw into songs like this that are only a couple chords and that are vibier like this. It's the word I'm going to use. All it is it's just that. It's literally a file I have saved. It's just called pad 2. It's actually in D, but I've bumped it up just a half step to the E flat there because the chords for the song are an F minor 7 and an E flat. So both of them have that E flat tone that ring through them. So just having this E flat drone going through the song is something I like. I'll give you a couple, if you want to just rip it from the video too, I'll just give you a couple seconds of it. I'll mute my mic. So I mean, you can rip it straight off of the video, or you can use the actual multi-track and stretch it out. And then all I do is tune it inside the song. So whatever key the song's in, I'll tune it to the key. So if you don't download the multi-tracks, you could rip it straight from the video stream if you want, or you can download the multi-tracks, drag it out, and see wherever it ends. I just drag it out and fade them together because it's just one note. I can pretty much put it wherever I need and stretch it to however long I need it to be. A little high pass, a little low pass. That's all it needs. So hear what it does. If you don't really hear it inside the track, you're not like, oh, there's a pad or a drone in the background. But without it, you feel the space more. I click this in and it glues all of our pieces together. For me, it's like water, right? If you have a bunch of rocks that are put together and then you dump water through it, kind of like a river, it's going to find all of the cracks and fill all of the cracks. That's what this pad does for me. So take a listen. I'll click it in, listen to how it just fills the space. That's all it needs to do. That's all I use it for. All right, this second verse into this pre-chorus section. Let's take a look at this for our lead vocal.
I didn't see that we can make this more than me.
Excuse me. Burped into the microphone there. I apologize. This is our big note here, it looks like.
'Cause I have spent.
Do we have a little compression going on already?
'Cause I have spent.
Perfect,
So
perfect.
let's take a ride and see. So let's take a ride and see. So let's take a ride and see.
A little
So
bit
let's
de-essing.
take a ride and see. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. 'Cause I have spent so much time
So high pass going on.
breathing in. So let's take a ride
Compression,
and see
about 7
if
dB
we
reduction.
can make this more than me.
Just grabbing those
I
peaks.
wanna know there's best some way.
Holding our vocal in
I
place.
need to
And then
know
de-essing.
it's not too late. 'Cause I have. So let's take a ride and see. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know there's best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spent. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know there's best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spent so much time breathing in the loving light. Come now and you will see.
So there's some frequencies poking out on this vocal that we need to take care of. It just seems to be sometimes with this vocalist and in the microphone in the room, there's a couple frequencies usually are up around 4K that pop out. So I'm gonna flip to my mains here in the room, and we're gonna take a look and try and find some of these. So I'm gonna mute my microphone here, and we're just gonna search around on the vocal here and try and find these pokey frequencies.
Come now and you will see what it is. Come now and you will see what it is you mean to me. I wanna see what I can feel. I want. Come now and you will see what see to me. I wanna see what I feel to me. 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 I wanna see what to me. I wanna come down and you will see what it is you mean to me. I wanna see what I can feel. I wanna know that this is real. 'Cause come down and you will see what it is you mean to me. I wanna see what I can feel. I wanna come down, can feel. I can feel. I can feel. Can feel. I can feel. I wanna know that this is real. 'Cause come down and you will see what it is that I can feel. I wanna know what I can feel. I wanna know that this is real. What I can feel. I wanna know that this is real. Come down and you will see what it is you mean to me. Real, 'cause I can't help second guess that this is all. This is all. Another test, 'cause you want me. You want me. Yeah, you want me. 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 You want me.
All right, I'm feeling better about that. There were a couple frequencies that were just kind of ringing out like that were really, really funky and quite a bit harsh. So just pulling those down, helping to smooth things out there on our vocal. Now we can kind of place it where we need to inside the track there. Let's see where we're sitting here in the second verse.
So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know this best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause so let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know this best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spare. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know this best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know this best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spare. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more too late. 'Cause I have spare. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know this best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spare so much time.
All right, that's feeling better. I pulled a little bit more weight out of the vocal there just because I'm weary that when I add the verb here, because I'm probably going to put a little bit more than usual on the vocal. And I don't want it to be crazy heavy here. So let's throw the verb on, see where we're sitting.
Come down, you will see what it is you mean to me. I wanna see what I can feel. I wanna know that this is real. 'Cause I can't help second guess that this is all another tale. 'Cause you want me. Yeah, you
we're going to do a little bit of level balancing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this all the way down to 10, negative 10, and we're just going to briefly run through and see how everything's feeling. All right, a giant solo on the outro. I think we're going to use this second verse here to see how everything is looking. I mean, that's where our reference tracks are, so why not just boop, pull those over, loop our second verse there, and let's pull this in and kind of see where we're sitting. We want to see where our frequency balance is. We want to see where our level balance is compared to a professional master. We can kind of get things in the ballpark using our reference track. Then we can come back, get our background vocals in, tweak our levels a little bit more, and do any kind of personal preference stuff. So if I want more weight on the kick drum for this song, if I want it to feel bigger, if I want more verb, that kind of stuff, preferential stuff comes after we make sure we're in the ballpark of a professional master and that we're not way, way off course, because we've been going for an hour here now. So my ears, not as fresh as they were an hour ago, especially after having to edit down the toms. Pulling in a reference track can recenter your ears and let you know, okay, maybe we're going too much on the top end, maybe we're going too much on the bottom end. Can bring you back into the ballpark of reality of how things should sound on a variety of different speakers before you go in and do preferential stuff of, I want the kick to be a little louder, or I want the vocal to stand out more on the song, or I want it to be verbier or vibier or whatever. So let's get our reference pulled in here. I'm going to kick the volume up. We're going to stay in mono. We're going to listen to just the sub area here, so 50 hertz and below. I've kicked it up here. I'm going to go up a little bit more in volume. So if you are listening on subs, be wary, be careful. The pan control on the hall verb is red. What is the reason? Haven't experienced it myself. Oh, so the pan is red because it's backwards. So what I've done is I've sent the acoustics, so the stereo acoustics are in there, and the piano's in there, and then I think, yes, the lead guitar. So stereo acoustics, stereo keys, and the lead guitar are sending into this hall verb. And then what I've done is I've set the hall verb up so there's a reverb on the left and a reverb on the right. So it's channel split with a splitter, reverb on the left, reverb on the right. So what I can do is I can send to each side of the reverb, and then I can flip it. So because things are stereo, there's a signal coming in on the left and on the right. So one's going to hit each verb, And then what I've done after the fact is I've flipped them. So the reverb output is panned opposite everything in the track. So if I have my left signal and my right signal on the acoustic, the stereo acoustic, coming out of the reverb, they're going to be flipped. So the right's going to be on the left and the left is going to be on the right. That's going to give me a little bit more width, and it's going to enhance our stereo spectrum for the listener, for whoever's listening to the song. I'm going to hit my microphone. So I'm listening to the song right now. So it's going to enhance the stereo spectrum for me, for everything that's going into this. So the stereo acoustics, the stereo keys, and I mean the lead guitar is not panned left or right, but that's going into this too. It's just flipping the panning on the outputs. All you do is, if you have your panning faders here, if you pan opposite, so if I grab the right and put it left, and the left and put it right, they turn red like that. So that's all that is there. That's why they're red. Good question, Michael. Sometimes I forget to point stuff out like that. So cross hall, it's just a regular hall reverb here. It's just the factory hall from PreSonus's reverb. So I'm just putting the splitter tool in here beforehand. So I have one reverb on the left and one reverb on the right. They're the same reverb though, and then the EQ left. So the acoustic guitar, for example, right, there's the left side and the right side. So the left side is coming in, it's going to this left reverb here because it's hearing the left channel, but when it comes out, it's going to be on the right side because the panning is switched. So that's all that's doing there. Just a neat little trick to get a little bit wider stereo spectrum. So let's jump into the reference track here and see where we're sitting. Like I said, if you're using subs or something like that, it's going to be panned. In German, you call it cruise hall. I should know a little bit of German. My last name is Schlegel, so I should know how to speak a little bit of German. Thank you for that, Michael. That's a fun little fact there. Here's our bottom end. I might push up the kick here a touch. Yeah. And maybe pull the bass down a touch. Yeah, all right. I'm happy with that. Cool. So 50 to 100 here. Kick sounds good. Bass sounds great too. Wow. All right, cool. We're in a really, really good spot to start here. Our low end sounds great. We have room to push that if we need, but we know we're at a spot here based on our references that we're at least playable for a mastered sound here. Let's take a look at our top end here, see where our vocal's sitting. After an hour, I probably put way too much top end on the vocal, as per usual. Maybe just a touch. Actually, I'm digging it where it was. Let's check our kick and snare. I'm going to put just a click more on the... Yes, on the kick drum. Snare sounds great. A little more cymbals though. Instruments sound good. Okay, just a touch out there on the top. I didn't want to do that at the front because I'm really liking how everything sounds going through the compressor and the de-esser at the moment. I'm tempted to push more on the kick. I'm going to leave it, I think. Before I just keep pulling that out, I am just going to bump both of these down a couple dB. I like that. I didn't like that. There we go. Just a little click there at 3K. I'm happier with that. Let's go down. So 1K to 2K here now. Back to mono. Snare sounds great. Sounding good there. Doing weird stuff there. That doesn't bother me, it's fine. A little bit too much of that there. Piano sounded a little funky there. All right, 200 to 500. The snare sounds like it could be thicker. I want to hear on the bottom end before I do anything like that. I'm okay with the bass being heavier there. All right, I'm happy with where everything is sitting. Let's take a listen back full volume here, or full frequency.
So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know there's best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spent so much time breathing in loving.
All right, let's get our background vocals in and get this thing finished up. There's one on the end. Right there, hear it? A little uneven, it feels like. That one's fine. Is it the high ones that are a little uneven there? No, they're fine.
It's not too late, 'cause I have spent so much time breathing in the loving light. But you warned me. Yeah, you warned me. Need to know it's not too late, 'cause I have spent so much time breathing in the loving light. But you warned me. Yeah, you warned me. Now I don't wanna be, I don't wanna be, I don't wanna be another. You want me.
All right, I'm happy with where everything's sitting. We're going to take a listen through the beginning. You know what? Do I show you the funny thing? Where is it at? This little blip here is because there's a vocal outtake at the beginning. We like to hide stuff in songs or do goofy stuff in songs. And it's always called secret. I doubt you'll have this track, but just the Will Ferrell Anchorman skit, just hidden at the beginning of the song. That's all that little blip is on the vocal there at the beginning. So don't fear if you don't have this little guy here at the beginning. But we're going to go full volume, and we're going to check all our fades here at the beginning as well. And make sure everything is fine. We actually fade in from the beginning, which is okay. But we're going to make sure all our instruments fade okay there. I think we're going to fade to here. If we can get away with a little more on the pad. Can we? Are we looking there? Yeah, that sounds okay. So if we fade to here, cool. All right. So let's go to our beginning spot. I'm going to go full volume here to listen. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the volume down on the stream here. All right, so you should be listening at pretty much the same volume. There's extra loops out there that we don't need, but let's take a listen full volume here, see how everything's sounding.
Come now and you will see what it is you mean to me. I wanna see what I can feel. I wanna know that this is real. 'Cause I can't help second guess that this is all another tale. 'Cause you want me. Yeah, you want me. So let's take a ride and see if we can make this more than me. I wanna know this best some way. I need to know it's not too late. 'Cause I have spent so much time breathing in the loving light. But you want me. Yeah, you want me. Now I don't wanna be another mistake. No, I don't wanna be in a love that's fake. 'Cause you want me. Yeah, you want me. 'Cause you
All right, I'm liking where everything's sitting here on whew, all that reverb comes back on the headphones. I'm gonna flip again to my mains, and we're gonna listen one more time all the way through. This is where we'll see if our vocals sitting good, and we'll see if the lead guitar and solo balances are feeling good. Because I didn't check the lead guitar on the mains here to see if it was harsh or pokey on any frequencies, but I'm gonna mute my microphone here, and we're gonna listen all the way through this track one more time.
come now and you will see what it is you mean to me. I wanna see what I can feel. I wanna know that this is real. 'Cause I can't help second guess that this is all another tale. 'Cause you want me. Yeah, you want me.
I'm pretty happy with where that is sitting. I put an EQ on the lead there to kind of see if there was something jumping out. It felt like some of the slides were a little bit harsh, maybe some squeaks or something jumping out. But other than that, I'm really, really happy with where this. Michael, you're still here. Thanks so much for hanging out for an hour and a half. I've been seeing you the past couple weeks here, and you're hanging most of the stream. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for hanging out. I hope these are helpful for you. Anyone who's still hanging. I mentioned a couple times throughout the stream, but if you want to mix this track, if you want to mix along with the stream, the link at the top of the chat or at the top of the description, you can download the multi-tracks for this song completely for free. The song is called You Warned Me. There's a ton of other multi-tracks on that page you can download. They link back to the live streams that I did for each song, so you can mix along with each live stream, or you can just download and use the multi-tracks for your own mixing practice. I am really, really happy with where this is sitting. You saw me bump the vocal up just a touch there when I was listening on the mains. I wanted that to be out front. I like the vocal performance. I like the vocal melody. So I wanted to make sure that was out front, especially on the chorus lines that get a little bit quieter. I don't want them to get buried by the background vocals, but really, really happy with where this track is sitting here. At an hour and a half, we are going to call it there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. Make sure you download the multi-tracks, mix along with the stream, get some mixing practice, and I will see you in the next one very, very soon.